Marine biology fact of the day. So this is one of the most interesting and one of the rarest marine reptiles on the planet. This is the leatherback sea turtle. It is the largest sea turtle on the planet, and it has been known to reach lengths of up to 10 feet and weighing a max 2,019 pounds. On average, though, it is between 4 and 6 feet long and weighs roughly 800 pounds. It is given the name leatherback sea turtle because of the fact that instead of having a hard carapace like every other sea turtle, it has bony plates that are joined together by leathery skin. Another interesting fact about this creature is its throat, which looks terrifying, as does everything else in the ocean. The reason its throat is lined with a bunch of razor-sharp spikes is because it likes to hold in jellyfish, which is its primary food source, and one of the reasons it is endangered is because it commonly eats plastic bags, which it mistakes for jellyfish. So please use reusable bags and save the sea turtles, or else you will be fucking cancelled in 2020. How to actually survive a shark attack. Let's get into it. So basically your chances of getting bit by a shark are really low. They're 1 in 3,748,067, and of that your chances of dying by a shark are even lower. Basically in the United States we have 16 shark attacks a year, however we only have 1 fatal attack every 2 years. But let's say against all odds a shark still decides to try and eat you, what are you going to do? So if a shark is coming up to you and it hasn't bitten you yet, they might just be curious, so simply just push them in the nose, make sure you make good eye contact, and they'll probably back off because sharks are naturally inquisitive creatures, and if they know they're not some docile, easy to eat animal, they'll probably just not waste the energy on trying to eat you. However, a shark does bite you, what you're going to do is hit it in the eyes, nose, and gills, because these are the 3 most sensitive or important parts of a shark's body. Basically, the nose has a sensory organ called the ampulla of Lorenzini, and it's an extremely powerful sensory organ, and if you hit it, it's probably going to hurt, and they'll back off. I say the nose because it's the easiest and largest thing to aim for. Now, what's going to happen next is if you do have a wound, do not look at it. It can cause you to go into shock, and then you'll drown, and that's horrible. Also, do not panic, because it could cause the shark to be more enticed. Simply and calmly get to shore as easy and quickly as possible, while still being safe.
Ada kamu pernah tengok tak siput babi punya telur dan siput babi menetas? Sebelum tu awak tak puas hati lah dengan nama dia, sebabnya nama saintifik dia cantik. Nama saintifik siput adalah Acanthina fulica. Cantik kan? Kenapa namanya dapat jadi siput? Saya rasa saya tahu kenapa. Alah, siput. Okey, mungkin bukan macam tu lah kot, tapi jom kita tengok cara dia bertelur. Dia keluar kat sini, nampak tak? Cut. Alah, bucuk anak keluar tu. Pelepop. Okay, dan ini real time, slow, dan dia boleh telur sampai 80 ke 400 biji. Bayangkan sabar dia. Dan ni pula video anak dia menetas, tapi dah dilajukan lah, sebab rupanya daripada kecil memang slow dia ni. Alah, dah keluar tu. See, nampak tak? Cengkeram dia pun masih lembut lagi.
Change the subject. She is very gorgeous to me.
I love telling people that yellow doesn't exist because they get really mad at me.
Now I know you think you're just messing with people when you say this, but this is actually a legitimate argument for the color purple. You see, in school we learn about Roy G. Biv. These are the colors that the human eye can see. And yes, the human eye really only has receptors for red, green, and blue, but these don't always have to be firing at 100% all the time. One can be firing at 10%, another at 20%, another at 70%. They can work together to make all the colors in between. Funny wording that, in between. You see, yellow makes sense. Y falls in between R, G, and B, so they can work together to make yellow. But how do we make purple? Well, red and blue come together and we get purple. Except violet's on the other end of the spectrum. Near the stuff we can't see anymore, it's really only activating blue receptors. So how do red and blue come together to make purple? Well, it turns out the brain didn't know what to do when red and blue came together, so it just invented a color. The color purple. Purple isn't real.
Mom.
What?
What's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone?
An enzyme? I don't know.
You can't hear an enzyme.
What do you mean you can't hear an enzyme? So you can't hear an enzyme, but you can hear a hormone? Oh my god, you're such an idiot.
Oh my god.
So you want to get a 9 in GCSE Sciences? Here's the top 3 websites for GCSE Sciences, Part 1. I mean, 60% of members get A star to B. Of course you can trust this website. Can never go wrong with bite size, basic but effective. You perfect these quizzes and you're guaranteed an A star.
The The only way that we can keep our teenagers safe is by teaching abstinence only. If we don't, teen pregnancies will rise through the roof. Actually, in America alone, the states that teach abstinence only have some of the highest teen pregnancy rates. We need to teach students about contraceptives, enthusiastic consent, and communicated boundaries in order to keep them truly safe. But if we teach them about sex, then they'll have it. We need to discourage it. Have you ever met a teenager? You tell them not to do something and that will be the first thing that they do. And like it or not, teenagers have sex. Discouraging it instead of giving them advice only means they'll be more at risk of STDs and teen pregnancy. It also means that they'll turn to things like porn as a means of education, which creates an unrealistic and sometimes violent standard. Well, I must have done something right because you obviously have never watched porn. Oh no.
Alguien me acaba de etiquetar en ese video para que explique qué es lo que ocurre y por qué de repente hay un mar de sangre alrededor del tiburón. Y miren, la realidad de las cosas es que no alcanzo a ver bien qué es lo que ocurre en el video, pero les traigo dos hipótesis. Número uno es que el tiburón estaba siendo perseguido por un depredador más grande y obviamente al no tener escapatoria, al final el depredador terminó alcanzando al tiburón, ocasionando este increíble mar de sangre. Y la otra opción que también es muy viable es que al estar tan cerca de un asentamiento urbano, alguien posiblemente estaba cazando al tiburón para obtener su carne y sus derivados. Entonces logró tomarlo por la aleta caudal y al ya no poder escapar, obviamente el tiburón obtuvo una lesión muy grave en la cola. Y esto es lo que genera el masivo charco de sangre que vemos en el agua. ¿Ustedes qué opinan? ¿Logran ver qué ocurre o tienen alguna hipótesis más que agregar en la caja de comentarios?